everybody. Today, we'll be talking about one of the more mysterious hybrids, the Distortus Rex. Let's get into it. There is an ongoing debate. Is it a mutant or a hybrid? Well, it's both. It has traits from both Tyrannosaurus Rex and Titanosaurus, so it's a hybrid of the two with a bunch of other mutations. It having 6 limbs, for example, a mutation. Now, I have made my own batch of Distortus Rexes. The new and improved is the corny way to say it. But for now, let's discuss the original. All vertebrates on Earth are supposed to have only 4 limbs. So, when the Distortus Rex has 6 limbs, there are problems. The additional limbs are barely functional. It barely uses them for anything besides display. Another mutation is that its heart and lungs are not too efficient. It has chronic mild hypoxia, so occasionally it'll panic from lack of air. It is also in chronic pain, partially because of the hypoxia, but there are also other reasons, being unstable DNA causing a lot of problems. Despite all of its issues, the Distortus Rex is an efficient predator, easily the apex species, not including the Californian couple, being able to live completely alone without help from anything else. So, this creature, despite its very big setbacks, is living independently and thriving. My version of the Distortus Rex, the new generation, is more stable. This time the 6 limbs thing is deliberate. I even used DNA from the original for that to happen. The new ones have a straighter back, but are a bit shorter as a result. Though this photo is not exactly a good example to show that it's shorter. Distortus are solitary predators. They really do not like each other unless they're trying to mate. I also added some other weaknesses so they don't become invasive species when I plan to release them. And yes, I plan to release all my hybrids by the time I'm done studying them. For example, one of the weaknesses I added to my Distortuses is that they're slower than the original. Another weakness I added is that it has more mammalian-like lungs, which means it gets exhausted a lot faster than other theropods. But now, let's discuss the muscle architecture for my Distortuses, since these ones are supposed to have 6 limbs. In normal vertebrates, like humans, we have a pair of pecs that allows us to move our arms. The Distortus 2.0 has 2 pairs of pecs. Each pec is for an arm. Since it has 4 arms, it has to have 4 pecs. The pecs for the littler arms are smaller and weaker, since those little arms pretty much have no use. But the pecs for the big arms are a bit bulkier, though a bit constrained, because there has to be room for the little arms. I also added silverback gorilla DNA, mostly to straighten its back, but I realized that silverbacks could also provide some other things. So, I gave the Distortus 2.0 a silverback-like ribcage to allow more room for an additional pair of pectoral muscles. Silverbacks also have some pretty strong arms, which is really good since the Distortus does need to have strong forelimbs to walk around. Now, I know you're asking, the beluga whales have their melon so they can echolocate. Can Distortus Rex echolocate with their melon? The answer is no, they cannot. Beluga melons are really good for echolocating when you're underwater, but not so much when you're in air. Distortus Rex has melons because Titanosaurus has melons. So why does Wait, wrong Titanosaurus. That's better. So why do they have melons? I don't know. Maybe it's a mating trait, since that's where a lot of weird traits come from. Moving on, the Distortus Rex isn't that fast of a walker. Maybe 8 miles an hour, that's being generous. They're not really long distance walking, they're ambush predators. So they're not really fast for very long. However, when running, it can have a short burst of speed, about 17 miles an hour, for about 30 seconds before it gets tired. Like I said, I made these guys slow so they wouldn't really be invasive. But now, let's discuss the DNA and what this thing is made of. The base genome is Tyrannosaurus rex. The rest includes Titanosaurus and a bunch of mutations. However, we are not done yet. My Distortus Rex has more DNA than just Titanosaur and T-Rex. It has DNA from the original Deinosuchus, Carnotaurus, silverback gorilla, beluga whale, and I had a gene from patients with polymelia to help stabilize the Distortus's extra pair of limbs. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Hybrid Research, and I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya!